Hey everyone, I'm Anya Esma, and today we're talking about my jewelry collection. My magical jewelry, my spiritual jewelry, my pretty jewelry, just anything. I just want to show you some pieces. I did that already, I think 3 or 4 years ago. I made a video. I still have all of those pieces, of course, if you want to look back at them. But now I just want to make an updated version where I show you some more because I have a lot more since then. I want to start with a little disclaimer like I usually do in my videos. I can't say anything without qualifying it and going more into detail. So let me make one thing very clear. I know how it is when you see these videos. You might want some of those pieces. You might think, my God, I want a collection like that too, or I want that piece, or all of them, or whatever. But please know that these are not all randomly bought pieces, at least not all of them, but they all have a story and they have a purpose behind them. So mindlessly purchasing jewelry is something I wouldn't do, and I don't want anyone else to do it, and I don't want people to run out and buy a bunch of jewelry based on this video because you felt like it. I know that's going to happen anyway because it happens to me. It does, that I want like one specific piece and I try to find it online. But I just want to put the topic of overconsumption in here and make it clear that this is not something that I amassed within a year or something. It's really a collection that has taken 10 years at least, if you want to be correct, probably all my life, which is 32 years. So it's a long time. So I never bought like, I don't know, 10 necklaces at once or 10 rings at once or anything like that, because I think that kind of takes away from the magic of jewelry and it takes away from the soul that every piece has that you buy, because only when you wear it lovingly, it has that spirit and that effect that you want. And I think if you buy like 10 pieces at once and maybe one of them you don't even wear for 2 months because you just don't get to it, that's not what I would go for. And it's a little bit sad because it takes away the purpose of jewelry, in my opinion, which is to be something magical, to be something that accompanies us in everyday life and that gives meaning to our outfits. That's like a little I don't know, a little bit of something that can't go away. You know, clothes at one point they will break, they will be leaving our lives, or maybe they're out of style or we don't want them anymore, whatever. But I think jewelry is something that you can keep for decades. You can give to your children as an heirloom or give to anyone else as an heirloom if you don't have kids. So I think that magic is something that should always be on our minds when we purchase jewelry, so that it's not just for the purpose of adorning ourselves and, you know, buying a €5 necklace because we like it and 2 weeks later it's black because it was made of bad material. I'm not saying I've never done that, but it's something I've rarely done and I don't do anymore, really. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that in the beginning, so to make it clear that I'm not making this video so you run out and buy a bunch of jewelry. I feel like especially nowadays it's always about the next trend, whatever gets picked up on TikTok or anywhere else, and that's kind of sad. You know, people buy so many clothes and so much jewelry around a micro trend like cottagecore or fairycore or steampunk, or like goth if it's just a short trend, and then people don't want those things anymore. And I think that's not really, I know that experimentation is part of fashion, but I think it's important to be mindful of that at least and reflect on what you buy and what you get into your wardrobe and into your jewelry box and into your life in general. Which is not to say, of course, goth and steampunk are legitimate subcultures, but nowadays with TikTok and how fast trends move sometimes, some people just kind of take it for 2 months and then they're done with the aesthetic. And I don't want that to happen. All right, now I want to give some context of how I got all of this jewelry. So the first thing is that I worked at a jewelry shop for 5 years in my 20s, and that really awakened my love for jewelry and made me see it in the way that I do today, which is as a potential heirloom, as something that has meaning, something that is long lasting, something that is made of good materials, or can be made of good materials that last a long time. And I've also seen the kind of dark side of the jewelry business, which is that most jewelry is made in China. That's a fact. Even the things you buy on Etsy or that say they are handmade are mostly made in China, unless you go to an actual goldsmith. And even then, obviously, you have the question of where does the ore come from that they use? Where does the silver come from, the gold, the gemstones, etc. So it's the same as with clothes. You really have to be aware of the ethics behind it. I'm not saying that all of us can 100% of the time just shop thrifted things or 100% know where that jewelry comes from. I love how I was trying to grasp a necklace here and there's nothing. But we can try our best and we can be aware of these things. I also want to give the context that I didn't have a lot of jewelry until I was about 23, 24, 25, because I started working at that jewelry shop at 24, 23 actually, at 23, I think. So since then, I've collected most of these things. I've gotten a few pieces before that from my mom and from other people, but really not a lot. The like 90% of the things that you see behind me and that you will see in this video are probably uh, something that I was gifted or bought myself in the last 10 years. So please, 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 when you look at this collection, keep in mind that it's something that was collected over 10 years, or if you want to take my whole life as a time span, 32 years. It's nothing that I amassed very quickly, which is really what makes every piece so special, because most of them I have a memory tied to it. Why did I buy it? Who gave it to me? Why did they give it to me? What's the meaning behind it? How do I feel when I wear it? In what time period did I wear it regularly? And all of these things surround all of these pieces. So a lot of it was graciously given to me for free or for a very reduced price by my former bosses or my colleagues at the jewelry shop. Some of it was given to me, obviously, from family like my mom or friends or partners. So that's where a lot of it comes from as well. And some of it I bought myself, though I have to say, I would say most of it was gifted to me or I got it for free, which is the perks of working at a jewelry shop. And I didn't buy most of it. I also want to draw attention to the fact that thrift shops often have really cool jewelry that you would not find anywhere else, depending on the thrift shop, of course. But I've found pieces there which are so unique, just like clothes, that really set you apart and that can be a memory for you, a true lasting memory, and something that has quality. Before we get into it, I want to say you can also tell your jewelry stories in the comments, because I love hearing it. I love seeing new jewelry. I love hearing the stories of jewelry. So if you have a piece that means a lot to you, go ahead and describe it in the comments or tell the story in the comments or whatever you feel like. Thank you. All right, so let's finally get into the video. I will give you a rundown of how I will proceed. First, I will give you a little view of my entire collection. Well, it's not my entire collection. There's some that's also in boxes that I don't like anymore or don't want to use anymore. But I just reorganized all this space that you see behind me. That was really weird. thing to do to try to point at it. But anyways, so first I will show that to you in a little clip with some music probably. Then I will pick out a few pieces and show them to you and talk to you about the stories behind them. And then I will put an extended version of this on my Patreon because I don't want to make this video too long for YouTube. But if you want to see a few more pieces of my jewelry, you can head over to my Patreon. And over there, I will show a few more pieces and tell a few more stories, which maybe I wouldn't want to tell on YouTube. So that's how it's going to go. Let's start. right, I've chosen a few pieces that I want to go through the stories of, or why I wear them, and what kind of feeling they give me, what vibe they give me. I think it's really important when you think about jewelry and look at the jewelry that you have, that you look at the vibes it gives you. Like, how do you feel when you wear it? How do you feel when you put it on? How do you feel when you see yourself in it? And that depends, of course, on the style of the jewelry, but also your very personal associations with it. So let's start. First of all, I want to talk about this beautiful piece. I think it is Labradorite, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't show the usual luster that Labradorite has, but I think that's because it's a little bit more raw. And a very good friend of mine gave this to me in a time when I was really thinking about restarting my YouTube channel and just, following my purpose, following what I want to do, following my creativity. And this stone was kind of meant to remind me of that. I'm actually not sure if that's what she intended, but that's how I took it. I think she just gave it to me because she liked how it looked, and also I think the seller told her what it stood for, which I think was something like determination or creativity. And when she gave it to me and when she told me that, I was like, okay, I think I know what this is for. By the way, the chain doesn't really belong to it. I added that to it. There was like a leather chain, but I like gold chains better, so I added that. So I wear it not that often because obviously it's very, very big. So it's not like an everyday jewelry item. But I told her I would wear it when I filmed my first YouTube video to come back, and then I filmed my first YouTube video, I wore it, and then I watched the YouTube video and I was so unhappy with it because all I did was complain in the video, and all I did was go on about how terrible TikTok is and all of that, and how the witchy community has changed. And I ended up not uploading that and ended up deciding that I wanted to come back with a different video. So that's why, unfortunately, after my YouTube break, I didn't wear this in the first video, but I think I wore it in the last video I uploaded. In my 10 of Cups video, I wore this one. So yeah, I have a lot of positive associations with that, and even though the video that I originally made with it never went live, I still associate it with my coming back to YouTube, coming back to uploading videos. So that's my association. And then next we have this one. It is a pearl necklace that in between has little porcelain beads. I hope you can see that well. And they are painted like with little blue flowers, kind of like you would see vases being painted or something. And I really love this one because I will fully admit, this was like a style purchase. This was one of those purchases where I was like, okay, I want to have a pearl necklace, but I want it to be kind of special. And then I saw this one, which had these porcelain beads, and I think it just gives it this really refined, handmade look, and I really love it. So that's why I purchased it. And whenever I wear it, I feel very proper. You know how you feel when you wear pearl jewelry? Because the association with pearls is usually, I don't know, I think of, what's her name? Now I forgot her name. Audrey Hepburn, I guess. I think of her. Because I think she was known for wearing a pearl necklace. There's like a famous photo of her wearing that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining things. But anyways, that's kind of what I feel like. It feels very elegant and very proper, which is not a mood that I am often in. So I don't wear this as much as I thought I might, but that's fine. It's for those days where I do feel very proper and very, elegant. Now let's talk about this one. God, my skin is so discolored in this video. I really don't like that. I wish I had this perfect white skin, but no, skin has texture, skin has funny colors. But anyways, so yeah, this one, I wish I could show you it better. You can kind of see it if I hold it like that against the light. Because these garnets, they are really a beautiful orangey red. They have this shimmer to them. If you've ever had a piece of jewelry with garnet, you will know what I mean. Yeah, so my boyfriend gave this to me, so it means a lot to me. I think it was the first necklace he ever gave to me. The necklace itself is made of 333 gold. I know that in other countries, interestingly, 333 gold, meaning it has 333 parts of gold in it, isn't considered gold. Only in Germany, it is considered gold. In a lot of other countries, it isn't because, it only has 333 parts of gold. But here, that's enough to consider it a real gold necklace. Yeah, and then you have the garnets in this interesting shape. Tell me what it reminds you of. For me, at first it reminded me of a fish a little bit, but it also reminds me of the symbol for Aries. And since I am an Aries, I kind of see it as like my Aries necklace. I have a lot of other Aries necklaces as well, but this one is special, of course, because it's made with these beautiful stones and it was given to me by my boyfriend. And yeah, that's kind of what I associate it with. I'm always a little bit afraid to wear it because I really don't want to lose it. When you have pieces of jewelry that mean so much to you that you'd rather not wear them because it's better to have them safe and sound at home. That's how I feel about it sometimes. But I've tried to wear it more and I love it every time I wear it. It's really like a special little detail in every outfit. All right, now let's talk about this one. This is my chariot necklace. So here we have another one that I associate with my personality, I would say, because the Aries necklace is, of course, associated with my personality and how I am, and the chariot necklace as well, because I have 7 as my birth card. If you haven't watched my video about birth cards and about how to find your perfect magical practice with your birth card, you can watch that on my YouTube channel as well. Yeah, so mine is 7, which makes it the chariot, and that's why I got this necklace, and I think it's so extra. Like, I looked at a lot of chariot necklaces. They are usually smaller, the typical ones that you see online are smaller and just gold and then like a laser engraving of the chariot card. But this one, it has like all kinds of stones. It was by no means expensive, so this is not precious stones or anything, but I think it just gives it like a little glimmer, a little interesting look. So that's why it feels special to me, and also it's quite big. I like some big necklaces that I can combine with smaller ones. So I like dainty necklaces. I think I like the concept of dainty necklaces, and I have a few that are very thin and filigree, but then when I wear it, I feel like it's not really me because you can't really see it. You're just wearing a dainty necklace more for yourself and not because others can see it, I feel like. And also you have to polish dainty necklaces so well so they kind of retain their shimmer, because otherwise they just look like a little black thing that you have around your neck. So that's why I think dainty necklaces also take a lot of upkeep. All right, I also wanted to talk about these, which are just a representation of all of the ear cuffs that I have. I have quite a few, and I can wear them as ear cuffs, or I can also wear them as fake septum piercings. But what I like about them, and I have a lot more, let me put some more here as well. And what I like about it is I don't have to get a piercing, but I can just put it on my ear and it looks like I have an additional piercing, which some people would say that's lame. But honestly, I don't really want to hurt my body any more than I have to. I recently got a second earlobe piercing and it's been like 8 months and it still hasn't properly healed. My body is really not good at healing stuff, and if I was to pierce my cartilage, I'm sure it would go very wrong. So I really don't want to do that, so I'm sticking with these fake little ones. So that's what they look like. They are also quite cheap, honestly. This is not as a type of piece where I would spend a lot of money, I'll be honest, where I would like get it in real gold or something, because it's just easier to have more options and to switch between them. And I think it's something that it's not like a necklace to me or an earring, where it has a lot of value, if you know what I mean. Maybe I'm misguided. Maybe I should really get like real gold ear cuffs someday, because I do wear them almost every time I leave the house, because I think it just fits so perfectly with the earrings that I have. It just kind of adds a little oomph to my whole ear jewelry situation. All right, now let's talk about these ones. They are special. Take them in before I say anything about it. Look at that. That's the back. They are made by an artist called Eva Nix. I will also link her shop below because I think I just want to support her because her stuff is so fucking cool. She has earrings, she has also like necklaces and stuff. This isn't sponsored, by the way, just so you don't think that I'm being paid for this. I bought these myself. I have no contact with her. I'm just recommending it because honestly, look at the amount of detail. And she has many that are way more crazier than these ones, like in neon colors with pills on them as well, with other kinds of piercings, with split tongues. It's really like, I'm so happy every time I see a piece of art by her. And that's really the definition of what jewelry is to me and how I see it, which is art. You know, it's someone putting in a lot of effort, a lot of thought, a lot of time to create something so intricate and cool. So yeah, I'm very happy I was able to snag these because she always does sales and then everything gets sold out within like an hour or so. These 3 pieces I want to talk about. I mean, these 2 are probably very familiar to the people who watched my channel because I've had them for quite a while, but when I filmed my last YouTube video, my last jewelry YouTube video, I didn't have these yet. So I just want to go through them because those 4 pieces or those 6 pieces, this is more of a recent addition, really make me feel like an elf. And whenever I wear them, I feel like a wood elf. I feel like, you know, an elven queen basically, and I love that about them. I had a phase where I wore them a lot, especially in my YouTube videos. If you've watched my videos quite a lot, you will know what I'm talking about. You've seen this jewelry very often. I tried cleaning these. Unfortunately, they are staying a little bit dark-ish. They look a little bit more dull than they used to, but it still looks nice. And these ones as well. They've aged quite a lot since then, so they've become a little bit dark-ish, and I'm not sure I'll be able to clean them because I don't think this is real silver, unfortunately. But since they were so special, they were still quite expensive, even if the material isn't, you know, the thing that makes it expensive. It's the creativity that goes into it and the idea behind it. So yeah, I still really love them, and maybe I'll wear them again in a video someday. And with these last earrings, let me just get them. With these last earrings, this is also kind of like an elven style to me. I really love them a lot. My boyfriend got them for me as well. Let me see if I can. Yeah, the sparkle, it's just a little bit darker than in reality, but maybe in post-production I can fix it a little bit. But yeah, they're like dark blue, which is also one of my favorite colors besides dark green and dark red. And they just have this like leaf design, which makes them look very elegant and elfy. So yeah, that's all the pieces that I wanted to show you. I have quite a few more, but I'm going to show those only to my patrons because they have a little bit more private stories behind them, and I don't really want to tell these here. So yeah, these are the pieces we went through. Let me know. I know this is 16 minutes already. I mean, only this part is 16 minutes. So let me know if you would like to see more of it, because I can certainly record myself talking about more pieces. Because I have so many. Like, look at these ones as well. Can you see that? Oh, you can't really see the dark red sparkle. They are so beautiful. Well, anyway, I'm getting distracted now. And look at these little snakes. I just have to show you these. My boyfriend also gave these to me because I got my second earlobe piercing, and these are for the second piercing, so I can wear them as like a little addition. Yeah, okay. I'll stop now because there's way too much. I will link the other YouTube video where I went through the other jewelry as well. Let me know if you want to see more footage like this of me just going through my jewelry collection and talking about it. And also let me know, would you prefer if I actually wore it on camera? Would you prefer if I showed my face instead of just the jewelry? Because I feel like showing the jewelry is so much easier if I have my hands and this instead of my whole face. But let me know what you think, what's more interesting to you. Now back to myself. And that's all the jewelry I have for you today. There's more on Patreon, as I said. I'll put the link in the description so you can head over there. It's just patreon.com/AnjaEsma, and there you will find the possibilities of viewing the video. And thank you so much for watching. If you want to show me your jewelry, do it. Tag me in Instagram stories, send me Instagram DMs. I love seeing pieces of jewelry and I love hearing their stories. So if you feel like sharing anything with me, do it, or do it here in the comments on YouTube. I would love to hear those stories. I always think it's so inspiring, and it kind of makes you want to buy more jewelry if you hear the stories behind certain pieces and certain pieces that people maybe wear every day.